Hi everybody, welcome to my kitchen on this beautiful sunny afternoon. Today I'm going to show you two recipes that I'm prepping for this evening. One salad and one fish that I will let marinate, because actually I do this quite a bit because we've been kind of working from home and I don't have like a regular 9 to 5 kind of job. What I've been doing is that I'll often take some time to prep dinner stuff sometime during the day or sometimes even the night before, and then I just put it all together at the last minute. And I've been doing this quite a bit lately because it's getting nice outside, it's getting warm, and we've been eating a lot of grain salads as a side. And I find that anything like a grain or a bean salad keeps really well. So you can make it in advance for the next day or for that evening, and it can stay like in the fridge for up to 2 days, right? Like even more sometimes. So I've been, testing different grains and different types of variations of salads and whatever. So I'm very big on quinoa, and I love the red quinoa, the black, the white, the whatever. And as you'll see in my book, I have actually a quinoa salad that I make all the time. It's an herb quinoa salad with pomegranate and whatever, and that's amazing. But that's not what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to steer away from quinoa just for today, and I'm going to make a pearl barley herb salad that's going to be crunchy and super fresh, that I'm going to serve with a miso marinated cod. Okay, so let me show you how I'm prepping this. First, I cooked some pearled barley. So pearl barley is a really nice grain to work with because it absorbs a lot of liquid and it keeps its shape, so it doesn't get super soggy or anything like that. I make it and you make like a cup for 2 cups of liquid, and you let it simmer until it gets all absorbed, and then you let it cool. I usually put a little bit of olive oil, or if I'm making an Asian dressing, I'll put a bit of sesame oil, and I'll toss it so it doesn't stick. You see, now it's quite it's not too sticky. So I usually make a big batch. This case I did like a cup and a half, and 2.5, 3 cups of liquid. It's cooled. So that's one thing that's going to go in the salad. The other thing are herbs. So because I'm making a miso marinated cod, which is kind of Asian, I'm just going to do a few different herbs. And I'm using this Thai basil. Thai basil is really nice because it has that basil feel to it, but there's something licoricey about it that's really, really pleasant, very refreshing. And sometimes you can get like lemon Thai basil. So I'm just taking, a small handful that I'm gonna cut up. So oftentimes, if I'm in a complete rush, I would just put these in my little, my little Moulinex blender that grinds everything and cuts everything and chops everything up. But I have a little bit of time, so I'm gonna just do it by hand with love. All right. Okay. So I'm chopping a bit of that. I'm also going to take a bunch of parsley and some cilantro. So as you know, as I've said this before, cilantro, you can totally eat these, right? Like the stem. Don't throw it out, because it's unlike parsley. The stem is super tasty. It's really good. So don't waste it. Don't throw it out. Just chop it up with the leaves. So there you go. So I love to put a lot of herbs in my salads. So I go a bit easy on the Thai basil because that's quite particular, and the kids might not be as big of a fan of Thai basil as us adults. So I'll do a big bunch of parsley, big bunch of cilantro, and a small bunch of the Thai basil. So there you go. I'm just gonna chop it up a little bit more here. Trying not to make too much of a mess. There you go. Ah, oh, smells so good. All right, so I'm gonna put that in a bowl. Sorry, I'm coming. I'm on my way. I'm trying to find a bowl where you guys can see through to see what I'm doing, right? Because you can never see what I'm doing. Look, there. Better? Okay, so I'm gonna put the pearl barley in here. Boom. By the way, if ever you have too much of this and you feel like, oh my God, that's way too much, you're never gonna finish this, you can totally freeze it. I've frozen this before and then you just defrost it. And it's wonderful. Defrost it and then you won't be able to really tell the difference. Although it doesn't take a long time to cook, right? It only takes like 20 minutes to cook, but then by the time it cooks, cools down and whatever, you know, that always takes a bit more time. So you've got a nice kind of greenish pearl barley salad like this. Now I've also taken some snow peas. I don't know if you checked out my website recently, but I did post this quinoa snow pea recipe that's very springy. And I really like snow peas because you don't really need to cook them. You could just eat them raw, or you can just blanch them really quickly and cool them. I eat them raw, they're really good. So I'm just gonna cut these up, you know, pretty finely. And there you go. And that's pretty much it, right? Like, you can get crunchier if you want. You can put some radish, you know, some nice radish. I actually have some, I could add some, but I'm good with this, you know, and you just leave it kind of to rest. And if you know that you're eating in a couple of hours, what you do is you can already prepare the dressing and pour it in here now, and it will keep like wonderfully well. And maybe just like pour half the dressing and the other half you keep it on the side. So the dressing for this, I'm going to keep it fairly simple because I've got like this really strong marinade happening with the cod. So I'm just going to put lime juice, some olive oil, a bit of ginger. If you don't have olive oil, you can use like just any kind of light oil is nice, like a nice peanut oil, like a groundnut oil is nice. You can put a bit of sesame oil to season it as well if you wanted to give it that Asian kind of feeling, with a bit of the minced ginger, and you just put it in there. If you wanted to, if you're into chili peppers, you can have some like fresh, like those red bird chilies that you cut up really small and then you put in there. So, and you just leave that, like let it be in the fridge covered and you're good. So that's that. Now, let's get to my cod. All right, so the cod is another story because that, you know, it's funny because fish is not something like, I'm a huge fan of marinades, but fish isn't something that I marinate for very long normally, except in this recipe. So I've got some cod, and it's like a pretty thick piece, okay? So I'm gonna dry it, okay? What I do for this cod, I like to get it, there's this fish place where I get my fish, and when they've got a deal on this type of cod, it's like the back of a cod, or I don't know what it is, but it's like a thick piece. What I do is I'll buy a bunch and I'll freeze it, because it's a very nice kind of fish to marinate, because you can marinate it for a long time and it's not gonna like get all cooked and everything. You can also use this in a stew. Like I have this recipe in the book where and I've showed this to you on YouTube in the past, where I take the cod, I put tomato, olives, white wine, let it simmer. It makes like this wonderful kind of Greek style stew. And you put some parsley, like chopped parsley, and some feta cheese, and you serve it with rice, and it's amazing. Like, you could do a lot of stuff, and my point is, with this kind of piece of cod. So what I'll do is I will cut it, I'll cut it in two, all right, like this. Now, I'll put it in a little dish. It's gonna marinate in here, and I'm gonna tell you, the marinade is super duper easy. So in it, I will put some mirin. So mirin is like this sweet cooking kind of wine that you'll see in Japanese food stores or in Japanese cuisine. So I'll put about, I'd say like a quarter cup. It's quite sweet. Like, I mean, it's not the healthiest thing, right? Because it's sugary, but you know, like, it's fine, right? There's not like, yes, there's glucose, there's vinegar, lemon, salt, and it's a rice wine, okay? So it's like a sweet rice wine. Quarter cup of this. Then I will take a bit of this sesame oil. Okay, so sesame oil, I may have showed you this in the past. I've got two types. I've got this one that's not very toasted. It's like this kind of a raw sesame oil, and it's a yellow color, like a light yellow color. It's very nice, and I like it a lot. But in this case, I want to give it more of a sesame taste. So I'm going to just put this dark one. So I'll put 2 tablespoons in here. You can really smell the sesame taste. It's wonderful, okay? Now, I'm going to also be putting something I love, which is miso. This is white miso. So when I'm making fish, I have, like, there's different types of miso. Like, there's the dark one, there's the red one. The red one is quite dark. I mean, you could use it. You could use it if you have nothing else. Totally use it. But it's like, this is the red, this is the white. You see what I mean? This one is more, it's harder, it's pastier. This is softer, creamier. It looks kind of like almond butter or something. So I'll put, I'd say like 2, kind of the equivalent of like 2 tablespoons in here, which is kind of the same amount, I would say, as the mirin. And so just toss that together until it dilutes, and it, you know, you don't see any paste anymore. And once that is done, what I might do is add a little bit of soy sauce, just like a little bit. Just a touch, okay? I don't like putting too much. I don't like overdoing it with the soy sauce, because then it gets really salty and everything. I'll just put a touch, okay? And I'm going to pour this, okay? So here you go. I'm going to pour this on the fish, as so, okay, like that. And I'll turn it once, kind of twice, so that it's all covered in this stuff. This, by the way, is for 2 people, right? So I don't know, it's like 400 grams of fish, kind of, sort of, not even a pound of fish. But we love it, so we eat big quantities of it. Like, normally this would probably be for 3 people, but my kids are not a huge fan of this sort of thing, especially my youngest. He's not into like this white fish business, so he's not gonna have that. More for us, okay? So this you can let marinate 2-3 hours. Now, this is completely kind of a cheap knockoff, like a homemade knockoff of Nobu's miso black cod. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's like this really nice type of cod that's like special and impossible to find around here, and that's super expensive, and that they marinated. This restaurant called Nobu, which is a very well-known chain, had this signature recipe where they did this wonderful like fragrant miso sauce and marinated the cod. And then like if you ever go to Nobu, or there's many Japanese restaurants that do this recipe now, but I think they really launched it and made it super popular. It's amazing. This is like the homemade, the home cooks version, but it's delicious. And so you cover this in the fridge, you let it marinate a few hours, and then when you're ready to cook it, what you do is you put it in under the broiler of the oven so that it caramelizes. So you put it at 400 degrees Celsius, or like maybe, yeah, like I would say, maybe no, not 400 degrees. What am I saying? Like 200 degrees. I was thinking Fahrenheit. 200 degrees Celsius, 225 maybe, and you put it under the broiler for a few minutes, and then I turn it a few minutes until it's cooked through. This does take a bit longer because it's quite thick, but you'll be able to tell, you know, it's basically, you know, it gets sort of flaky, caramelized, and it's cooked through. And you serve that with this wonderful salad. If you wanted to make this salad a little bit like less green, you could you could and like add some juice to it. You could totally put some pomelo or some grapefruit. Like I've got grapefruit left over from my juice this morning because we made this wonderful juice. Oh guys, this juice, we have some left over. I'm just saying, if you've got a juice extractor, try pineapple, lemongrass, strawberry, and grapefruit. Okay, it's like, it sounds like a really strange mixture, but it's really nice. And the lemongrass, like I just put the strawberry in there for the pretty color, but you don't, you know, it doesn't, like I didn't put a lot of it, but the lemongrass, oh my gosh, lemongrass, pineapple goes so well together. Anyways, and I had an extra grapefruit, so I'm gonna take that extra grapefruit maybe and put it in the salad because that'll go quite nicely with the miso cod. Yes? All right. I think that's about it for today. If you've got any questions, let me know. See, this didn't take very long at all, right? So this is all prepped, this is all done. So what, like 20 minutes, something like that? 17 minutes, 37 seconds. And then it's gonna take 5 minutes of cooking and dinner is done, you see? And oh, I have to tell you about this dessert I did. It's on the website. Let me just show you. I'm so eager. I can't ever just keep a video with like 1 or 2 recipes. Guys, I don't, like, it's dangerous for me to even like get close to this without having some. This, okay. Oh, let me just, my hands are a little bit icky, so I'm not gonna, like, but I just want to show you, I gotta show this off, man. This, okay. Chocolate chip, orange peel, ricotta, olive oil pound cake, okay? Amazing. What I did is I got totally inspired by this recipe that I had heard of that's on Smitten Kitchen. Anyways, this blogger, like hugely popular blogger. I love that blog and I love the stories she tells. It's like really good. Anyways, and she has this cannoli pound cake that's like out of this world. It looks amazing. But I didn't have all the ingredients and I didn't want to use the white sugar. And so like I did all these modifications to make it a little bit healthier. And the end result is, oh my God, so good. So go check out wellmama, WELLMAMMA.com. On the homepage today, there's this pound cake with the orange peel and the chocolate and whatever. It's killer good. I urge you to make it if you like the orange chocolate combo. Not everybody likes that. I really like it, and it keeps really well the next day. you can slice it up. That's what I'm gonna do. I already sliced it up. I already ate too much. And I'm probably gonna keep some from breakfast tomorrow because I like having that stuff for breakfast sometimes when it's around. And then freeze it. And then you take it out slice by slice on the days where you need that extra boost, you know, in the morning or in the afternoon when it's rainy or whatever. I was so happy to have made that recipe. Thank you, Smitten Kitchen. But like I said, I used coconut sugar. I modified it a little bit. It's a bit less sugary than the original. A little bit simpler, I think, but whatever. I'm sure her version is like over the top good. So there you have it. So after this light dinner, we might like go have a little cup of tea in front of the TV with a little piece of that, maybe. Anyway, have a wonderful afternoon. If you've got questions, like I said, let me know. If you want to go check out more recipes, go check out this cake recipe on the website. If you like this video, please share it and like it and comment if you want. And lastly, okay, and then I swear it's over. I have a podcast episode that is up, okay? And it is with a psychologist and health coach that I love. Her name is Anna Vucetic. She's a dear friend of mine. I've known her for years and years and years. And she is all about balance. Eat a bit of everything, eat what feels right and aligned for you, enjoy food. Like, it's everything I believe in. It's like, have the variety. If you gotta have some sweets once in a while, it's okay. So if you wanna go check out that episode, go to Well Mama Talks on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, blah, blah, blah. It's all there. Okay, that's it. And if you want the ebook, you go on the website, all right? It's Spring Summer ebook. You know about it. I've told you like lots and lots about it. And I'm going to be giving some Zoom cooking classes soon. I've got a paella cooking class coming up in April. So if you're interested, send me a message and I can sign you up, whether you're in Europe or America or Australia or whatever. I'll see. I'll try to find 1 or 2 time zones that, you know, 2 times that work for different time zones to prepare the paella. All right. Bye, guys.